and welcome back to the Guillotines and Guitar Studio here in Hartsville, South Carolina. We're on Season 2, Cut 5. Cut 6. Cut 6.
One after.
Man, we have it's still the spooky season, so we're still in the kind of spooky topics.
We're in the mood to spook each other.
We're in the mood to spook each other just like they just did me.
Insert video here.
Yes. And, man, that's why I can't talk right now. My mind is like scrambled eggs right now. You got me so good. But anyway, glad to be here tonight. We have some great topics for you. Guillotines. We are talking about the Salem Witch Trials. We're talking all about the Salem. It's so interesting about the Salem Witch Trials. I'm so into it. I'm sunken into it. I want to talk a lot about it.
Do it.
Well, that's good.
And guitars, we're going to talk about your favorite rock song.
We're going to talking about.
Yeah, talking about. our guitar segment, we're going to be talking about our favorite rock song with a Halloween theme or a horror vibe to it. That's how I'm going to say it. And it sounds good.
That sounded good. That was good.
That was great.
So that's our topic
job.
tonight. Season 1 is completely out, 1 through 25. Hopefully everybody is all caught up. Oh, it's such good stuff on there. You need to go on there and check it all out. Download our audio. If you're doing YouTube, check subscribe. That's what helps us. If you know what, I don't want you to do it if you don't actually like it. So don't do it. I want the real people out there who likes it. I want the real likes, and I want the real subscriptions. Because I'm not going to, I ain't going to do it.
You tell them. Tell them.
About to win all the rails there. I got excited.
That makes so much sense.
But hope everybody's spooky season is going all right. I went to a haunted house not too long ago. I'm not going to say what haunted house.
And it's Halloween Eve, too.
It is.
Yeah, it's right before it's All Hallows.
For us, now not for the people that are watching or listening. Halloween's already come and gone, but we're from the past.
I drove my DeLorean 88 miles an hour to be here.
Great Scott!
But yeah, this spooky. This is one of my favorite times of the year. Spooky season. We did our live broadcast at Creepy Hollow. What, last week? Was it last weekend?
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, we was at Creepy Hollow, and it was a great time. Great set of boogers down there.
Great set of boogers.
Yeah, man. Hey, we had Twisted on there.
Scott's
Twisted.
favorite.
Yep, Twisted. He came on there.
My buddy Twisted.
It's just a great time of year, man. I'm excited.
You gave him a coin, too, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, we saw your face.
Oh, man. I went back and looked at that video, and right when Chris is like, here, give him this coin, and Scott's face was... He was not happy that we just gave away a coin.
Me money, boy! SpongeBob!
But what was so bad was I told him before the show we could give away koozies and all, but we're not giving away hats or coins. And then
he said,
right out the window.
He said, take a hat and a coin.
Scott did the slowly turn.
He didn't sleep for 3 days because of that.
I got to work extra 3 hours for that coin.
I've been trying to find Twisted, too. I'm going to get that back.
But yeah, haunting season still going on right now. I'm still listening. Something just happened to me, and I can't. I was trying to get my mind right, but I'm not going to say what. I'm not going to give them credit, or I'm not going to give. But something did happen to me right now, and I just can't talk. I can't think. I can't do anything.
We're going to take credit. We just scared the hell out of Chris right before we got on the air.
Look at the shorts. Look at the little short video. You'll find it.
They
it's
did.
There.
They got me. They got me good.
Don't look at his shorts because it's probably it's probably a mess down there.
He didn't have to go to the bathroom anymore.
Well, I had to go number 1, but after I saw what I saw, I got confused at the toilet. Well, do I need number 2? I feel some pressure.
For the listeners and not the viewers, we'll just say that we put a giant Jack Skellington character, or what do you call it, a mannequin or whatever?
Yeah, mannequin.
Right scary ass mannequin.
He's about 6'5".
Oh, I was looking up at him for sure, and he was looking down at me, and it seemed very real.
Do you remember the thoughts that was racing through your mind?
Run. And I don't know if I screamed or yelped. I still don't remember.
We're going to go back and look at it. We're trying to figure out if it sounds more like Homer Simpson or Jerry Clower.
Yeah, it's a cross between. It's kind of like a.
What did it sound like, Scott?
Is that what it was? That's what it sounded like. Oh my God. It's funny now. It wasn't funny then. I was kind of pissed off. I was in a good mood. Obviously, they've been waiting for me to go to the bathroom for the
Trying
last
to get him to go.
Man, I hate y'all.
Everybody's going to the bathroom going, man, I got to go to the bathroom. Or I guess we should probably go to the bathroom before we start.
Oh, they was dropping hints. I just didn't notice it. And they was like, well, he's never going to the bathroom. And if y'all tell the truth, I never go to the bathroom. Ever.
Oh, come on.
Okay, yeah.
Ever.
Now you're getting into storytelling.
But anyway,
if you don't stop slamming stuff on that table,
well, that's why we got the boom arms, and it's supposed to cancel out all that.
it helps.
And all this.
It helps some of it, but not all of it. So,
And then we get the ringing afterwards.
So we on cut 6 tonight. Scott, can you do us the honor and see what we're going to talk about first?
I can. Does anybody else?
Anybody else? Hold on before we do that. Could everybody see Trey's outfit tonight? Don't you want to talk Irish to him?
He looks like a drop kick Murphy member.
He does, don't he?
Oh, yeah.
His what you call them fedora hats?
Irish Spring deodorant soap.
No. Call me now.
Yeah, well, my Scottish accent is not that great, but it definitely doesn't sound Jamaican.
That was that Jamaican Irish.
Call me now, laddie.
Oh my God!
All right, Scott, spin us. See what we got first.
I'm gonna flip it.
Oh, you gonna flip it? Never flipped it before.
Wait.
First flip. Guillotines.
Guillotine.
Oh, guillotines.
The Salem Witch Trials.
That's what I was hoping that was first, man, because
boy.
I could talk about this all night. The Salem. Everybody's heard of Salem.
Massachusetts.
Yep.
I think that's where Halloween came from.
No, I don't think so.
I think it is.
No,
I think there's an untold story of Salem being the first trick or treater around. Where they
You think so?
Yeah, they would haul out corpses' skulls and put a candle in it. I'm making all this up.
I thought so.
All right, y'all want to do a shot first before we go on?
Yeah, let's do a shot.
Let's do one.
Thanks for keeping us straight. Trey.
Yeah, I saw you getting ready to go. Tonight's shots for the first segment are strawberry sundaes.
Ooh.
Strawberry
Sundays.
Man, everyone.
Is it wait a minute.
Wait.
Hold on. Everybody look at Trey's bottom half.
It looks like he's got two.
Oh my God.
I got some Lucky Charms.
Hold on, he does. Look. He's got some, that is awesome.
Oh my God!
Trey always keeps us on his toes, and tonight,
When the hell did you do that?
I guess I was getting the shit scared
I was
out of me
back
in there, and
here.
he changed his pants.
Chris.
No, I
Now
did it
getting
while-
language. You making his job hard.
I got this new bar that isn't open in the middle, so I'm just back here changing clothes and nobody knows.
He's letting stuff hang out.
Yeah, for the listeners, I'm wearing a kilt now.
Oh my God!
You know, they say
I
if
should have known.
well, they say if when I was in Scotland, somebody actually asked this guy that if hey, do you actually wear anything under a kilt? And this guy, it was an older guy, like 70 years old, with his kilt on, giving us a tour, and he said if you wear anything under a kilt, it's a skirt.
Well, I like that.
I do too. There's nothing like a Halloween kilt.
Are you enticing Chris to go to Scotland or?
Yeah, you should go to Scotland.
I think you should move there.
I'm William Wallace. I would go there as William Wallace.
They'll never take me money, boy.
Cheers. Cheers. Y'all crazy.
That son of a gun had some booze in it.
Yes,
buddy.
it did, Jonathan. Ooh. Oh God,
That
I
actually-
don't know if I like that or not.
That does have some booze in it.
I don't know if I like that or not. That's on the edge for me.
That son of a bitch right there is strong.
It is. That's got some
Well,
kick.
Carol's on the couch tonight already.
Yeah, I'm gonna be on the
All right. Yeah.
Salem Witch Trials. So,
The
I'm
Salem Witch Trials.
here tales. So,
That was when 1692,
two.
1692, 1693. I
Correct.
think was when
February
They had it.
1692 to May of 1693. So I guess men can be witches.
Yes.
also?
yeah, because there were
Yes.
I think there were what
yep,
9 men.
it wasn't
who
just
were
women. So
executed.
apparently, if you gave an opinion on something, like if you was a woman or man, and have a higher thought process, they will consider you that was witchery.
Yeah, there was a lot of weird things with the trials that went on.
Until the
that-
research, I thought, women having a damn kettle and just brewing a brew.
Yeah, no,
and,
it wasn't that.
and
It
riding
all
the
started with
the broomsticks and
there was 2 young girls who started having
premonitions.
fits and contorting their body different ways. Started that was what started it all off, and then I think the girl's name was Paris. Her last name was Parrish or Paris, but and they called the doctors in, and doctors couldn't find anything wrong with them or no reason why they were acting the way they were. I mean, they were like going in convulsions and doing stuff like that, and I think the doctor just decided that it was
Witchery.
they were bewitched. That
Wonder who even
Something-
came up with that.
Like they
Well,
was probably
because
just
it-
having seizures or something, something medically.
Probably.
probably, but I mean,
So was
he
that
couldn't
girl-
find.
And some old wise
that
man,
girl
what is
hung
that
her?
sorcery?
No, they asked the girls what happened, and they said that there was three people who had been harming them, who were basically witches, and put them in that was causing them to do what they were doing, and so that was where it started off. And those 3 women, one of them was the girl's housekeeper. It wasn't housekeeper, it was a slave. And I can't remember what her name was, Tatuba or something like that, some weird name. She was like a Indian slave or something. And but yeah, that was where it started. That was how the whole thing kicked off, and so they took those women in, and I mean, then it just started growing. I mean, in the whole community, it
Started getting massive.
Yeah, it started getting massive. It started growing, and
Was it 200 people that they accused
I
of being?
think so, something like that. And that was from neighboring colonies too.
towns
Also,
and
I think,
colonies.
yeah. In Salem, I think it was 100 people. I think they initially arrested, and I think they executed 25 or something like that. I think, and then I think 5 or 6 people died while they were in jail. But I mean, it was when you read back on all this stuff, it's crazy how all of it came to be.
Did you see the detailed stuff on how they executed the women or men?
For hanging on
It was hanging was mostly. It was mostly
You didn't
hanging.
see the burning at the stake?
But then they do,
deal?
yeah, the burning at the stake.
No, that's not at Salem. They didn't do that at Salem. The burning at the stake was mainly in European countries, because back in the 15 and 1600s was when the whole witchcraft thing kind of took off over there, and that's what they used to do in Europe. Was they would burn them at the stake whenever they, convicted somebody who they thought was a witch. They didn't do that in Salem.
So they also didn't do the thing where they dropped them in the water.
The boiling hot water?
No, Salem, most of them were hung.
Oh.
That was it.
Yeah, there was 14 women hung, 5 men, and then 5 people died in prison, I guess, or in jail
Yeah.
waiting for.
Yeah, but
find
so
out what's
that's
going
a big misconception that about Salem, is that a lot of people think that they were burned at the stake, which is what you hear with witches. But no, that happened in Europe. That didn't happen at Salem.
So I wonder in the American population how many people we have that practice witchery, or how many witches or people that claim to be like, say, in the
Practice
United
voodoo
States,
or
yeah,
stuff like that.
Well, I used
or
to work.
Canadian. Or
I used to work with a witch.
Did you really?
Yeah, she didn't know I called her that, but she, yeah,
But you knew it?
Yeah.
How did you know?
because she acted like one.
I mean,
he said-
what is your specifications
She
of a
put a
witch?
spell on him.
He says she didn't know that he called her one, but
Yeah,
Well, I'm just saying, what was your specifications of you calling her that?
dropped the W.
In your mind.
Dropped the W and put a B on it.
I mean, that's every one of us. I like that.
He has been enlightened.
Yes. Say no more. Got one at home.
No, but woo.
Can we phone a friend?
Oh no.
I'm not editing.
That was just a joke.
I think
He's
soon.
gonna say that, then try to hand me a cup.
I know, and I think soon we're going to have another hanging.
Yeah. No, but with the Salem Witch Trials, one of the more
Don't put no Lucky Charms in there.
one of the more
It's magically delicious.
You know he played in that one show. You know that, right?
yeah.
And he handed out Lucky Charms.
I did.
That's probably the same
and little
Lucky
gold
Charms.
doubloons. It is.
We're 5 years ago.
Oh my god! No,
Did
it
you
was
eat
longer
those?
than that.
No, they're good.
Did I what?
I've been back here eating them.
He's eating his own Lucky Charms. That's
No, but-
witchery right there.
No, but one of the
Red
more
Stag,
one of the more
five shot. 5 shot. Make it hurt.
that much in there.
One
But
of the-
I
No, but one of the more
did he just say make it hurt?
y'all ain't looking at what I'm looking at. But go
I
ahead.
saw what you was looking at.
Oh, Shakira back there.
Shakira.
Shakira. Treya. Your giblets are showing. Don't bend over like that. You know how humid it is in here, right? But there was no burning at the stake in Salem. I
Not
can't
in
believe
Salem.
that.
Well, not from what now. I mean,
So-
everything I read, I saw where there was none of that, you know. But I
So
mean,
what
I'm
was
not
the
an
difference?
expert on it. But
Like in the European, what was the difference between the hangings and the burning?
it was just law and the way the governments were.
Just
That-
the way they wanted to handle.
Yeah, in Salem, that was in the that was what it was death was done by mainly hanging.
Because I would think hanging would be way less painful than.
Oh yeah, then burning.
Because I wonder when they burn them if they just put wood around them and set.
Oh,
it
they
on
was
fire.
alive.
Well, yeah.
No, I know they were alive. to
I
start with.
read that most of them, when they were burned, were dead. That they had already killed them, and then
Oh,
they burnt
really?
their bodies.
Okay.
Now they did burn some of them alive.
Did it say how they killed them before they burned their bodies?
Usually by decapitation,
Okay.
some type of way. So I don't know if it's by guillotine or.
So some of them, because if they stack wood around them and set the wood on fire, that wood's going to start at the bottom and eventually it's going to get hot and eat your ass up. But getting
You
to
would
those
burn slowly
temperatures-
if that would happen.
Well, and that's what I'm saying, man. It would
You,
be.
yeah, it would be a painful.
You're not
death.
going to bleed out because the fire
no,
is
you
going to
wouldn't
keep.
bleed out, but I mean, you might die from the smoke inhalation before. I mean, you would still be burning. It would still be
Oh,
painful.
You ever put your hand over a bonfire?
Over a bonfire?
Mm-hmm.
That's a big fire.
Well, that's what they would build. Just imagine being hot. The heat rises, right?
Right.
You would get roasted before
Man,
you
that
catch
would
on
be-
fire.
Yeah,
You would get literally.
but
you
I
would,
mean, I would
cook.
think
you
yeah,
would be tortured before you would die.
I would
Well,
think
you
that
would
would
be
be most,
tortured.
From
one of the
feet-
most painful ways. That,
Your feet is the most sensitive thing on your body, and that's the first thing that goes.
Doctor tell you that. Or how you know that?
I took biology.
Are
That
you
one.
sure your testicles are not the most, the sensitive thing on your body?
Let's don't go there, Carol.
I'm sure after your
Don't get him
feet
started.
gets cooked, I'm sure you're just done by then.
I would think
You ever stepped on a Lego in the middle of the night going to use the bathroom?
I have.
That's the most painful thing you've ever done in your. And then you want to put your children at the stake. I stepped on the smallest helicopter in the world one time going to the bathroom, and I woke up the whole house. I did the Marv, and I held my feet and slowly fell on my back. You remember that time when you stumped your toe on the pool? That's what it felt like.
Oh yeah, yeah. That was a rough day
But
for me. Nobody else.
Your son was in there making a sandwich. I'm like, the hell's wrong with him? Why is he doing that? Let me slowly get out there and be like, hey, what's wrong with you?
I said, yeah. I stumped my toe like really bad outside. I was cleaning the pool and I kind of tripped and my shoe came off and then my foot came down and my toe hit the concrete. And busted my toe, and it was a terrible pain. And I'm laying on my back, like trying to get it to go away. I got my foot hanging. I'm holding my foot up in the air. I'm like, just please go away, relax. But it didn't. Like it just got worse and worse and worse. And I'm laying there on my back. My son opens the back door and he goes, "You okay?" Now I'm trying to be tough, even though I'm laying on my back, holding my foot up in the air. Yeah. And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm fine." He goes, "Okay." He walks back in the house.
Makes a sandwich.
It's okay. Try to keep it down out there.
I talked to him later.
Please keep it down. I'm trying to make this ham sandwich.
I talked to him later after I finally got some feeling back in my foot, a good feeling back in my foot, and I said something, and he's like, "Well, yeah, but you said you were fine. I was making a sandwich, and I didn't want the cats to get on the counter and get it."
That's funny. But yeah,
But anyway, so I know what the witches felt like at the stake.
that's what I'm saying. If you're burned at the stake, the fire might get hot, high, the flames licking you. But when it simmers and those coals are hot, that's the worst. I think the fire is hotter than the flames coming up.
Oh yeah, no doubt. But
Just imagine what that feels like.
Because if they put you on the
couldn't
stake
imagine.
and they lit the fire, you had to wait.
You're not going to catch on fire until, and I've researched this. Your skin won't catch on fire until a certain temperature. You will roast.
What is that temperature?
He didn't do that much.
I
research.
didn't.
Okay, so anyway, you will roast.
You will roast before you catch a blaze. That's what I know.
Oh, I'd
You will
imagine
turn
so.
black. Your feet.
Man, that
Well,
would
yeah,
be-
but you also got to think that it sounds morbid to say, but you're just like if you were cooking an animal, it's going to be the same.
Yeah, I've
it's gonna
caught
be
a
the
pig
same
on
way.
fire. I was doing
Right.
a pig roast, and
Yeah.
my first pig that I wanted to cook on a gas grill, I slow cooked it, but I cooked it at a high temperature. I didn't.
So you didn't slow cook
Yeah, you
it.
didn't.
Man,
I was about to say, isn't that,
Man, I
opposite
opened
of
that
slow
lid,
cooking.
and it was like, just flames.
He's done figured something out. He slow cooked it at a high temperature. He has got something figured out.
that's the way you do it. That's how you do it.
slow
You
cook
slow
it
cook it
at a high temperature. And man, I opened that lid. The head was on fire. The eyeballs was coming out. I was like, this ain't good.
I slow cooked that high temperature. It took 30 minutes. I'm the fastest slow cooker there is.
I've been in the bathroom for 4 days.
So we got a total of victims in Salem.
In Salem, I think it was like 25 or 30.
Yeah, something like that. It was
Total counting the ones who were who were hung and then who died in jail. Some of them just died in jail. But one of the more events that happened, that one of the more shocking events was, they put a 4-year-old girl in jail for being a witch.
4 years old.
Dorothy Good was her name. Her mom was Sarah Good. I think her name was Sarah.
What was her charge?
But she was being charged of being a witch, and they coerced the little girl, the 4-year-old. They coerced her. I mean, when they were questioning her, and she's 4 years old. What do you think she's going to say?
Oh, yeah.
They made her where she admitted to being a witch with her mom, and they put her in jail with her mom. She was in jail for 8 months.
So
4 years
she
old.
ended
Did it
up
let
getting-
her out?
She got out after 8 months, but her mom, who was pregnant at the time, gave birth in jail, and that child died, I guess, from malnourishment
Probably
in
so.
prison. And then, so this 4-year-old had to watch her mom give birth to her sister die, and then they take her mom to hang her. Yeah, her mom got.
So her daughter saw all this.
She didn't see her actually get hung. I mean, because she was in the prison, but they saw her come take her out of jail to go hang her, where she was hung, and then the little girl got out 8 months later. But still, 4 years old.
Well, you know, I also read when they did a hanging, it was like a festival. There was
Oh, they
food
always
everywhere.
have.
There
Well,
was
back in those days, it was like a big event.
It was a
Yeah,
it
and
was a-
Any type of punishment like that, where it was
that's
it was
crazy. Can
execution.
you imagine that, in our little town of Hartsville? They're having a hanging today.
Yeah.
Trey, we're gonna play the event.
Well, you remember
How much to charge?
we talked about this on a previous episode. We were talking about the guillotine. Remember how they used to make little miniature guillotines that kids would buy and use.
Let's be careful going into that subject again, because this is what got him started on
Yes.
Oh yeah. Anyway,
cutting.
But you know, a lot of
You look at me like that.
people, you know, 200 people
Ain't
were,
nobody doing nothing.
200 people were accused. You know, 20 or 25 people were.
executed.
Here's my
executed.
question, though.
They had witch hunts.
Yes,
And
exactly.
Right. They
That's
had
what I was
witch
trying to get
hunts and
to.
stuff, but it was just people being naive and the wrong people being in place.
Well, my question: why Salem? Salem was like the birthplace in the United States where all this stuff started.
Just where it started. I mean,
You know,
It's where it was. That was where the
a
the Puritans
superstition
came
had
in
to
and
start in Salem and then grow
well,
and
that's
grow.
what
Well,
Scott
it
was
was-
talking about earlier with the girls.
It was in Salem was where the Puritans come.
The what now?
The Puritans, who were the highly religious
Puritans,
people.
like Neil Puritan.
No, the Puritans. That was his name. But they were like highly religious
Religion.
people.
I've never heard of this.
Yeah, they were the ones that came and settled there. And
How many were
They-
there?
I don't
Were
know.
there a dozen?
I'm not a history teacher.
Well,
so
you sound like it. I've never heard of Puritans.
Have
Puritans.
you heard of the
Puritans.
Balkans?
Quakers.
I've heard of the Quakers. Yes, or they're part of the Puritans.
no.
All right, go ahead with your story. Huh?
But anyway, yeah. So and they were a highly religious group of people, and they believed in, that the devil could take forms
well, that's the thing.
of human, and
I got a
they were
text
called
message
witches.
here from Kimberly. She said they'd also hang people using herbs, like off the ground, like making
Hang them for using herbs? or-
herbs. Yes,
Yeah,
they would
okay.
consider that witchcraft. If you use herbs like ground up some 4-leaf clovers and it helps you smell better.
How about if you rolled up a blunt? Would they hang
Oh,
you?
If you-
they
Well, if I found a 4-leaf
they
clover,
didn't
I'm not
have
going to burn
guns
it.
back there, but they shoot you.
No,
Get it?
but
But it's
do
just-
you know? Do you know?
Nobody got that. But anyway, yeah.
Do you know? You know how they tried to seek out who the witches were? They made what was called a witch cake.
A witch cake, and if you eat it, you will die.
What?
No, it was a witch cake. It was made of rye and urine from the inflicted person, the person who was inflicted having convulsions and all. They would take their urine and mix it with rye and make a cake and feed it to a dog, and the dog supposedly
Would
would
search them out.
would search out the witch.
That summit was probably just running around licking his ass, trying to get the taste out of his mouth.
I'm like, was this supposed to be
Exactly.
science or something? I mean, I was like,
That's
You know,
messed up.
and- and
that's
it
not a
is.
fair chance to a human being. That dog
No.
is literally doing what he
Right.
just said.
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean,
it's not
and
a fair chance. The Salem Witch Trials, they wasn't fair. I mean, nothing was fair.
And you put the wrong people in place, or the wrong people just end up in place back then, or whatever. And,
Yeah.
and it, they didn't have no accountability for whatever they.
I wonder
thought.
what the population back in Salem at this time was. Was it hundreds or
19,000.
It was 19,000.
I have no idea.
Oh, you had me interested. Just sucked me right on in. But I'm
You just keep
well.
producing.
Usually, a small community would do stuff like this. You know, not like a real big community, but a community that wants to keep certain things out of their community.
Well,
You know.
Well, they wanted to keep the witches out.
Yeah. Apparently, they fed their dog bullshit and.
Do you know how many brooms they burnt in 1693?
Why? That's another question. Why brooms? Why brooms?
I don't know, but
Why did the
that was a
witches
different-
ride brooms?
That was a different witch.
Why couldn't they ride a Kirby?
I think the broom thing came
You
later.
know?
Dorothy introduced the brooms.
Yeah. Well, and you can ride anything. Hell, I can ride you.
No, you can't neither.
I mean, if I put some feathers on your feet.
Trey's over there.
No,
Yes, I got another one.
no rides over here.
I got no more tickets.
Better talk to your bass player.
No,
seriously
he
though,
was talking to you.
did
Clearly,
you
I know.
research
he
that?
was looking. You
I
dead
didn't. I
now
didn't
on that
research that. Where did the brooms come from? Is that a folk tale?
I think that's a.
That was
I
a
don't think
different
that was-
witchery. That'd be more like of a Halloween
Yeah, I
No,
think-
actually,
thing. Well,
actually,
Oh, the phone. Yes.
I'm reading now because I haven't thought of that before. You just said that, but I'm looking it up now. It says I don't have the answer yet. I'm just reading what it says. But from the pagan fertility rituals to hallucinogenic herbs, the story of witches and brooms is a wild ride. So I'll get something for you in a few.
okay, that sounds
All
good.
right.
I would like to know that.
But
I
do-
just assumed that the broom thing came later, and it was just part of like.
so
the
back to
Halloween
my question.
tradition
Do you know
thing.
how many brooms was burnt in 1693?
I'm very interested to
Do
know.
you know how hard it was to sweep them dirt floors after that?
That's why they've been to Kirby. Dirt Devil.
I don't even know if they have.
They went from brooms to Dirt Devil. And then they was like, we got to play them Dirt Devils.
But you know what? Could you imagine? Could you imagine?
Oh, God, I tickle myself. So you remember, you see what I did there? I went from
I
brooms,
saw that.
from witches to brooms,
we got it.
to Dirt Devil.
Dirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
That was.
Can you imagine being hunted back then? Which it'd be a lot easier to run possibly back then than today. But
I would think so. Well, that was you're talking about being hunted. No, one of the men who died, he wasn't hung. He was what they called pressed.
pressed.
What?
His name was Giles Corey, I think was his name. He was a farmer.
Oh, I remember.
Yeah, and he was accused of being a witch. His wife was too, but he back then the way the court systems worked was, when you were accused of something, if you you had to plead either guilty or not guilty, and if you were found guilty, they would take your land, your house, your land. They would take
Oh, that's some
everything.
BS right there.
And so he said when he was accused of being, he said, I'm not pleading guilty or innocent. He said, I'm not pleading at all. He said, because this court already has me convicted before the trials.
Before trial. Yeah, they already think you're a witch.
He said, it's already been decided. He said, so I'm not pleading. And so what they did with people who didn't plead was
if the glove don't fit, you must not acquit.
What they did
That's
with,
what he said.
What they did with people who don't plead
If the broom don't sweep,
is they
you must not.
they press
Believe.
them. They press them. They put like a large wooden, almost like table on top of them, and just keep piling on rocks and
weight.
boulders. Wait until it crushes you.
That would
Why did
almost
he?
be
But
worse
why?
than the fire.
That's they
Well-
didn't give him a chance.
Well, I know. Well, I mean, he said he wasn't going to plead innocent or guilty because he said the court has already made it their mind, and
that's pretty much
what
the
they
truth.
did to people who didn't plead. They were like, plead innocent or guilty, and if they didn't, that was a form of torture that they did in order to get him to either say, okay, I'll plead either guilty or I'll plead innocent and go to trial. Well, he didn't do that. And for 3 days, they kept piling the rocks and boulders onto. Finally, after the third day, he died. But I mean, it's just like a
3
crushing you.
freaking days.
3 days.
3 days of torture. I mean,
of that, just
thinking
having
away
weight,
to not being hardly able to
constantly
breathe.
being put on you.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd have lasted a week.
a week.
That's right.
Damn.
They would have got tired of piling stuff on top of me.
Yeah. We saw how tough you were a while ago.
Why we got to bring that? That was the past. We have moved on for that. Why you got to bring
Trey,
that up?
during this part when he says that, just put the video clip in there.
Just a freeze frame
Yeah.
of that weird little ponytail he's got on top of his head, bouncing around.
Whipping.
I asked my wife to give me a man bun, and she gave me a sprout ponytail.
Well,
I
you
think she
gotta-
did that on purpose.
I know, it looks like a rooster.
Shut up, Scott. It'll
All
get
right.
you.
Oh, you do it again.
It'll get you.
Like one of those little treasure troll dolls from the 80s and 90s.
Put it on a
Teletubby.
pencil.
That'll rub your
Put it on a
stomach.
pencil.
Oh yeah.
You know what I would like to do?
Move on.
Maybe next year in the like maybe in August or September, like we could plan it.
We can't have witch hunts.
Go to Salem. I think we should take
You
the
know,
road to
they
Salem.
actually
That's a long way, but
it is a long
I
way.
think we should.
But it
I
will
think
be-
we
But
could find a
they
deal,
have-
a little weekend deal.
They have a lot of the Salem. They have a lot of tours and stuff
Oh,
going.
yeah,
They
for
have
sure.
all kind of
sure.
stuff.
We can say, "Hey, Guillotine's guitar's coming on your way." Would you?
I think they average about 1 million people
I wonder
a
what
year
the
going
last-
going there now to. Like,
I think we
see
should do a
everything.
show up there.
wonder who the last witch was that was executed. and
It
what
could be
year
me.
It was. It could be you. You got a witcher. Now we're not talking about no Harry Potter shit now.
I give up. Then I thought it was Hermione,
But
but no, really, I would like to go up there.
That would be cool.
and do like a whole put GoPros on her chest, audio, the whole just a whole weekend. You know, just go around and look and visit the bars and look at the women, the sorty wenches.
Trey's over
Yeah,
there going.
the wenches.
That's a lot of editing to do. I don't know about all that.
That's a lot. I gotta carry all this. I gotta carry all this equipment up there.
That would be a cool trip. But I wonder who
You would make
I
it worth
like
your
to-
while.
I would like to
I
check
would.
and see who the last witch that was executed, male or female, or
So I've
because
got
I'd imagine it was a bunch. But
Trey, you got anything? On
I've
the
got
broom-
something
the
on
broom
witches
deal?
and broomsticks. So this is really
I'm ready for this.
this is really odd, and I feel like I need to do a lot more reading. But one of the main things that stood out in just a few little passages here that I've found. Let me just read this, all right? I'm not going to try to explain it or anything. I'm just going to read it. Part of the connection may have to do with broom's place in pagan rituals. As a tool, the broom is seen to balance both masculine energies, meaning the phallic handle, and the female energies, the bristles, which explains why it's often used symbolically in
That's the
marriage
pubes.
ceremonies. So it's actually So it's actually
we can listen to Trey. We don't need your.
it's a
We got
a
it.
sexual symbolic thing.
The pubes.
Now,
Go ahead.
now I don't understand how that relates into flying
Yeah,
broomsticks.
yeah, and-
That would require some more reading. But from what I've found, just everything goes right back to it being a phallic symbol and female
That's good stuff.
energy.
But it's
That's weird.
disappointing that I didn't hear anything about a witch flying on the broom. Because where did it
says
come from?
Oh, it
Where
says
did
it right
come
here.
from?
Oh, it says it right here.
Oh, we got it.
They would put
I'm excited.
They would put gas on the bristles, and when it would burn, it would shoot them up.
That's propane. That's Hank. There ain't nothing like a good regulator butane.
Damn it, Bobby!
There's nothing like a regulated butane witch that shoots her up in the air.
Well, I just don't think the propane works that way.
But,
That's
you know,
crazy.
Anyway, I made
Is that what that's what it really said?
No, I made that last part up.
I think everyone
shit.
figured that out, but Chris.
Should have known.
But everything else was I did read it, and I saw it on the internet, so it has to be true.
No, I'm serious about the burning of the bristles and it shoots them up. That's true.
That was,
Yeah, that was true. That part was. He made
Yes.
everything else.
Yes, that's what I'm
that's the
talking
part
about.
I'm talking
That's
about.
what
yes,
I'm talking about.
absolutely true. They
Well,
use
that's
propane.
where that's exactly where it came from.
When we take
That's
a,
where it came from.
when we take a break, we're gonna take the broom and get you outside, and we're gonna light the bristles on fire and see how high we can get you.
I would not be your experiment. No, thank you. Don't start. Don't start.
But if you think from the Salem days, I mean, you think about witches
Well, I mean,
and how
I-
much they've
I think to
changed
get-
over the years.
To get Chris up there, probably a
brooms.
street sweeper or something.
Oh God!
But he just ignore that. Don't even worry about that.
Do you have the camera on it?
But I have did everything. I've Google Earthed it. I've YouTubed it.
You Googled
I'm
it.
dude. 365. It's a Halloween town. It really is. It's got a bunch of bars with the witch and the broom handle. You know, it's like Halloween 365. It's like a Halloween town, just like Gatlinburg, Tennessee is a Christmas town 365. Salem, Massachusetts is a Halloween town.
Witches.
Witches.
Yeah, well, witches. Yeah.
Yeah.
Not Halloween.
And they got a big surplus of visitors. They don't.
Well, yeah, I think I saw where I think they get like over 1 million,
Yes.
million people a year who visit
Salem?
there in Salem.
Times 2 on Halloween.
Yeah, to go
Yeah.
and see everything.
They got a big parade. They got a
museums and they
huge
got all kinds of
parade
stuff
that
there.
happens.
Now I wonder.
I don't know if it's actually on Halloween night, but it's close to Halloween. They'll
Well,
have a
it's-
big, huge parade.
It's not Salem anymore. Isn't it named something else? Didn't they change the name?
I do not know.
I don't live there.
Don't disappoint us. Don't even think about. You're lying. That's
think
what
it's
I'm gonna
called-
say. I hope not. I hope not.
Well, I'm not sure.
Do
but
they
I
have
think-
bars? and
Winston-Salem?
alcohol in Salem.
Yeah.
That would just kill everything. Now we're in NASCAR.
That was it. Hey, I have another broom story.
Ooh, I'm ready.
Another piece to add to
I
it.
want to hear it.
Indeed, it is reported that the first witch to confess to flying on a broomstick, which was a confession offered under duress,
Most of the
Was-
confessions were.
was a French priest named, and I'm not going to pronounce this right,
Francois.
Guillaume Edelin in 1453. During their time, and I don't know if this is a male or female, during their time, there was an awful lot of suspicion and fear about those who didn't behave as they were expected to, obviously. But this, the first witch to confess to a flying on a broomstick,
And
was
that
in
was
1453.
basically 200 years before. Well,
Before
100 before
Salem.
the Salem.
So they were good at it by then.
Yeah, I mean they had crafted their skills. By then.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
that,
you
that's
light them
crazy to me.
bristles on fire.
I still want to say it's the rich history that women would get on their broomsticks and fly away. As I've seen Kimberly do many a times.
Most witches ride a broom with one foot in front of the other, standing atop the broom.
Oh yeah, I seen
Kind
it.
of like a skateboard.
Yeah,
Out there.
they skiing.
Yeah, they got Tony Hawk up there.
Yeah.
Young witches often go barefoot and might hold their arms out to the side for balance. Occasional witches ride with feet at right angles to the stick and look sideways over their shoulder.
That's awesome. I love that.
So there's an art
That's
to it.
rich history
But-
right there,
and
man.
I'm really
I love it.
surprised that the brooms
So
date
the
back
daredevil
so far.
witches are the ones who get up on their feet.
Yeah.
The other one just ride it regular.
Yeah.
Kimberly upgraded to a rake, steel.
You keep on.
Yeah, I know you ain't gonna have nowhere to live. So.
Yeah.
They also the good witches also became great Quidditch players.
Ah! Harry Potter played
But
on the teams.
I'm actually surprised. I wouldn't have thought that the brooms would date back as far before like Salem and stuff like that.
I guess they did.
Dude,
guess
you've how do you not know?
I just don't. I mean,
'Cause
I
you-
went
you
to
figured-
Hartsfield Elementary. West Hartsfield Elementary.
what'd you say first?
You remember Miss Wall, the music teacher? Anybody in here?
I remember Miss Wall.
I think she was a witch. That
Really?
she scared the
Miss
bejesus out of
Wall,
our
you thought
asses.
was a witch?
Yes. Swear to God. You remember how Hartsville Elementary, West Hartsville Elementary was set up? The music hall was that old building, that white building. That's why it was like a cathedral. You walk down the hallway and you see this big building. And it was at Halloween when she got crazy. She would dress up. She would put headless things up in the ceiling.
Ooh.
No, I'm serious. As a 5 or
Maybe
6
she
year
just
old,
like Halloween.
oh, she loved it. Absolutely, but it scared the bejesus ass Rocky Cadell. We hated going to Miss Wall's class. We hated it because
Really?
she would literally scare the shit out of us,
I
and
always
she would
liked her
love
for
it.
the-
She'd be like, and we were like, she had like the big box strobe lights. Oh, they'd be in the corners, and she would just enjoy it. And then she would have a big kettle with a fog, like fog. I
machine.
mean, I swear, man, she did it over, and it scarred me for life. Like, I hated going to Miss Wall's class because I was terrified.
Is that what started you drinking?
She was going to change us all into frogs.
That's the second bell. Did you hear
the glass.
from Chris?
I did.
Yes.
So it scarred you for life.
It still scarred me to today.
I think we need a third one, Trey.
Nah. All right, everybody, that was our guillotine segment. Heck yeah, that was our guillotine segment. It was so much fun. I had so much fun talking about it. That was my favorite subject right here.